This video is to explain how I installed a electric brake kit on a 2017 Ford Transit wagon, 15-passenger wagon. Doing some work on it here. Didn't find a lot of information online. Of course, a lot of people have the stock wiring harness, or they've tried to install the stock one. Very complicated, so I went ahead and chose to go with an aftermarket. A really good kit that's made by Tekonsha, and I ordered it from etrailer. The part number is 22114. It's a complete kit that gives you all the features that you need. There's instructions, and there's also a nice video that's done by etrailer. And I went with the Hopkins Insight mount controller, and I veered off from what the technician did on the video a little bit, and wanted to kind of show how I chose to do this. So I apologize for the poor lighting, but in the video, and let me move up the seat here. In the video that etrailer gives, there is the technician pulls the wiring up, and you'll see there is a, see if I can hold the flashlight here. There's a red, a blue, and a black wire that comes up from the harness. The technician brought it up through the battery box, and I was concerned about if I ever wanted to remove the battery box, if I ever had to, it would be a pain to do if I had holes drilled through the bottom of it. So I chose a different route, and I removed the side trim here and the bottom trim, which gave me access to this spot right here. And there is trim that goes all on the bottom, and I actually removed all the trim. This part stays, so you can take this trim off. And then I drilled a small hole and put a grommet in and ran my wires up through that instead of the battery box. And then I snuck them underneath the, and it's actually all going to be covered over when I put the trim back down, so you probably will only see a little bit of that up towards the front. And then I brought it in, and you can actually snake it up underneath and bring it up. And then for the controller, I chose an Insight, and I mounted it up here, which really is helpful. And I don't actually have it officially mounted yet, but this will sit over here. I'm probably going to Velcro it down, and then this sits here, and works really well when you, and I did that because it's very difficult to try to find some type of a system that'll mount in these Transits, because there's not a lot of room up front. So what I did was, in the video, the gentleman takes the he drills a hole in the front of the battery box and brings a wire out and snakes it up around, and I chose to do it a little bit different. So I actually brought wiring. If you can kind of see, this is the area, this is the emergency brake cable. You can see there's a piece of carpet here, and I was able to fish a wire from this area and bring it up to the front up here. So right next to the gas pedal, there's a plate that you can remove, and it's really hard to get out, but if you take the one screw out, it will allow you to kind of reach behind there, and there's actually a cut in the carpet, and I actually ran the wiring through that. And then there's a grommet. I don't know if you can see the grommet, if I can get the camera. It's not doing a great job, I apologize. There it is. I pushed the grommet out of the way. I was able to bring all my wiring up through inside, and then I was able to fish it all around the back here. So I have a piece of wire loom here. Let's see if I can show you all this wire loom here. And I apologize for the poor lighting and general shakiness, but I wished someone would have had a video like this when I did mine, or before I did mine. and I ran all the wiring up through there. So in the video, the gentleman drills a hole in the front and then takes it along the outside left, and that's just not something I wanted to do. So you can fish wiring through, and I actually left myself a pull string. I'm just going to coil it up and put it here, and I've got a pull string on the other end as well. So if I ever need to fish any more wires through, I can. But I went with the Hopkins controller. It worked really well for me. From what I can tell, they no longer make these, and I contacted eTrailer because I wanted to buy one from them, and they said they were out of stock, so I found this one on Amazon. But I don't exactly remember the measurement that I made over, but there's actually a piece on the trim that goes in this spot, and it's kind of offset a little bit, and that's why I chose this spot. Just so you know, if you drill on here, the place that it comes out is right in the general vicinity where the fuel tank hose goes up, and you can see it. It's a really easy, clean way to do it, and then you can fish the wiring up through. So that's what I did. It seemed to help. Of course, I've got all the wiring. All the other instructions work fine based on, and you can do it the way the eTrailer said to do it. I just didn't want to drill a hole in the battery box like that. I did cut a hole here, and I've got all my wiring in loom to mount it in here, but something just to keep in mind. I thought that was very helpful. When there's a slit in the carpet here, and then there's another slit, and you just kind of fish a wire. I used a coat hanger and fished it up. So if you're doing the same kind of project, wish you luck. It took me several hours to try to get all this done, but it's well worth it. And the kit, that 22114 kit, is really helpful, and it's really laid out very well. Watch the instructions; they do a great job. And wish you luck.